And even though we may think that it's nothing, but this universe existence, the original foundation, it is a live, living existence. Which is why eventually, at some point in time, things started to come out within this emptiness. After about 13 billion years ago or so, then within this emptiness, the world that we come to know of, the stars, the moon, the sun, Earth, came forth into existence. When we see from the perspective of this universe, before humans came out into this world, before humans came out and seeing from this perspective of the universe, this original foundation, it's the case that the stars, moon, sun, Earth had never been into existence, never been born into the world. There is this enlightenment that we need to realize that this world here, there's no birth. But what temporarily comes out for a time being, but then just disappears and there's nothing of it, the meaning of no birth is that there's no true birth, no everlasting life, and therefore the futility of just things coming and going, right? But then also the existence that never disappears, eternally doesn't disappear, which is this emptiness, this universe emptiness. This existence then is the existence of no death. And because this here is where all of life comes from, all, for example, the material things that we claim to be like living, right? If all living material things, the fundamental source, the foundation source of all of it comes from this emptiness, this original foundation, then this original foundation universe, the emptiness, is also a living existence. And anything that is living, there is consciousness, there is mind. And therefore, when we think about all of great nature, when we go into nature and, just feel so good in nature, why? Because nature doesn't have human mind, but instead it's just the live, waking existence, the live consciousness, the live mind of the universe. The mind of great nature is the same as the mind of the universe, true mind. Because this here, there's consciousness, that means that when people come out to the world, because we also fundamentally come from here, that means our original mind is also the mind of great nature, the mind of this universe. So while living, because we're incomplete, stuck in our mind world, that's overlapping the world, while living, if we actually go back to this original existence, which is the universe found within ourselves, going back to this universe mind, and then born from here, when only this universe here exists within us, then we can see and realize I actually never was born into the true world, into the actual living world. When I was born, it was actually myself just born into the illusion of myself, into that false mind. Therefore, the principle of while living, returning back to the universe existence within, and then born from that place, that consciousness, then we can see how the world and myself is everlasting. Because why? Ourselves being the essence of this universe, the universe where there is no death, but the universe where there is no death, but the eternal living existence never dies, never disappears, and it doesn't change on us. When we achieve this while we're living, then we can see and understand the principles of the living world, selves here in truth, in relation to the world, the oneness. However, though, ourselves, people, as human beings, we're incomplete because myself here, I make a copy of the world. I mistakenly think that copy world, that illusion exists, but we live being deceived by our own mind of those lies, of those illusions, or there is that incompleteness. When the body disappears, what happens to all of what we come to know? Ourselves disappear, there's nothing of it. But because this universe here is what eternally never dies, never disappears, when we go back to this place and we can see while living how this place is the land of truth. Because this universe that just forever exists, even here now, it was the human mind that's overlapping. When people come out, myself come out, it's the human mind, my mind, that claims that people exist, that I exist, that this world here, the stars, this sun, moon, earth, I claim all of this to exist, but it's not the truth. The real world that is of the universe, Even though the world is here, but it was always just by myself in my mind. That is that copy, the copy of what belongs to the world, and it looks exactly like the real thing. And that's why, like, sometimes, I don't know if you experience this, but sometimes, like, you get caught up in the scenarios in your mind, right? Like the movie, the script that's in your mind, we get kind of caught up in that because it looks like the real thing. It even feels like the real thing, but it is falseness because it is just a picture. Because it's a picture, it's something that we can grab, have a grasp of in our mind, take out, throw away. And as much as we can do that while living, take time out to cleanse the mind, discard this self and this world, which is a picture existence, an illusion, return back to the universe existence. So the universe is here already, but we don't realize or see this universe here. We don't live in this universe here in truth because we're stuck inside of that mind. And because this mind, I want to use this word. I want to try it like a simulation. A simulation. So, you know how like a robot, it is just like, it just does according to the program. And in that way, there's no free will. There's that automatic impulse in us, that automatic compulsion, that automatic just like reaction. And we just like feel pulled to do according to our thinking or our emotions, whatever the case may be. With that, we're stuck inside of it. So therefore, when you think like, I need to control my temper, let's just say, I really need to control my temper. I'm going to work on my temper. I'm going to stop being so reactive to people. Right? I'm going to watch what I say. Even though consciously, we may want to choose that for ourselves and want to live that way, be that way. For those who actually have tried to change themselves, right? How easy is it to change yourself? And if anything, it's like a fight or like a dread. I have to work out when, you don't want to work out or something, right? Oh, I know I should. I really want to, but we don't, right? And that's why Sissying says the human mind, it's a robot existence. Even though we can think we have conscious and, free will of, I want to be like this, I want to do like this, I want to change myself. But the body is already programmed. Our mind is already programmed. It's a discipline. What we're here to do is also a discipline. You have to really work at it in some ways. Do your part in practicing the method and offering up, giving up all of this mind world, your picture world, and the attachments there, and all the attachments of the body, like pulling yourself to there. So if you kind of fight through with patience, then we can uncover and enlighten to the universe that Sissying is talking about. And then from there, come to realize that's actually why, I never was here. I was actually stuck in that program, that simulation. But when I was born into the world, I was born into that simulation. We're here to have true life, true consciousness, living consciousness, not a robotic consciousness. Never was I born into the true world as one's true self from this universe. When we really allow ourselves to discard the karma, the habits and body, then, through the course of the completion, following along and realizing and seeing yourself, enlightened to yourself that comes out to the true world, the essence of this universe that never disappears. And when we live with that foundation of that essence, our true self, then you can see the shift and difference for yourself.